Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Six Rings Kane Show on a new night, Monday night now, baby. We're really excited, actually, to have Eric McLean on the show here, college football analyst, co-host of The Huddle. Coach, yes! All right!
First touchdown of the year.
Miami Hurricanes, yeah. You know the name already. It's Mercy. Ha ha. It's a six-ring Kane show. Can't forget the name though. Got Jazz, Blue, Vish, and DJ break the game code. Ain't no changing them, ain't no breaking them. Real important live from the Hard Rock Stadium. Ball 14 for the orange and green. We see the six-ring champs. There's more than a dream. This is life on the field. Beyond 100 yards, a hurricane that's never still put a damage to your squad.
What's wrong with us? Seriously.
What's wrong with us? We're Miami Hurricanes fans.
Welcome to the Six Rings Kane Show, a show dedicated to Miami Hurricane sports, featuring the legendary Larry Bluestein, Jazz Santana, Vish, and Danny Gillette. Let's go Canes.
What's up, everybody? We got some baseball coming at you here. It's the we're gonna have to get like a 3 or JD Arteaga on the show and see if not 3. Wow, did I just say 3 instead of Gino? I just said 3.
I mean, if we could get 3, that works too. Yeah, you can't get the Hall of Famer on there. Yeah, we'll settle for 3.
We'll settle for 3.
If we gotta do 3, then we can do 3.
Oh man, that would be awesome. Yeah. Listen.
Baseball talk.
This is an exciting time for Canes baseball, man. This is going to be a tough one this weekend. I know that a lot of people don't think that Pitt is a tough matchup, but you're talking about you're going on the road. You're facing an ACC team. It's critical for you to get at least 2 out of these 3 on the road, because then you face a really hot ball club. A really hot ball club in Duke in the last weekend of the season. So yeah, I caught a glimpse of it and I put my head down. So it's gonna be tough. I mean, we can talk about how they swept Presbyterian all we want until we're blue in the face, but
Mercy rolled FIU tonight.
That
was good.
That's a little bit better, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's also better just because, again, didn't have to pitch 9 innings too.
How great was it to see Gallo, Chestnut, and Lecarica all pitch shutouts?
I mean, Lecarica, I don't know the last time he's allowed to run. He's been on fire.
This was nice to watch, man. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. This was nice. It was nice to see those 3 because we're going to need those 3 if we want to.
The pitching. But
we don't know what we're gonna get with Ligon yet. We don't even know if he's gonna come back. People is what he is. Gage Zeal is pitching really well, and then you've got the Swiss Army knife and Torres that can kind of come in at any time.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see what Gino's going to do in the postseason, because he started Gallo on Sunday too, and then started him again here. So this is not the way, man.
Yeah, well, how many innings did he throw on Sunday?
I think 2, and he threw 3 today. I mean, it's fine from an arm standpoint. It's 3 days off anyway. You could even do a full game on 3 days rest if you had to in a pitch.
Right.
I just feel like opportunities to get some other pitchers,
But who?
I don't even know, man.
I really don't look.
You're right. There is literally no one. Like, who could you even?
I really think that maybe we are,
because he's using everyone, but
maybe we're overthinking the fact, that we've got some guys in the pen right now that are starting to pitch well. It's, for me, the most important, the issue is going to be our number 3 or even our number 2 in that matter, right? It's the starting pitching, because I think if the starting pitching can hold up and throw 5 or 6 innings, you've got a pen that's pitching well right now.
Well, here's the thing, right? So yeah, no, definitely. It's the quantity of arms, but to your point, there's no one else to go to. Like, the only people that are not actually being used in competitive situations are Brandel, who.
Right.
No. Sebastian Perez
and Walsh. Right?
And Walsh also just does not have the arm talent, really. And Rafe is kind of borderline. We sometimes bring him in for a lefty, but definitely Cinto's the preferred lefty out of the bullpen. So, but I mean, there's no one else to really go to. But I do wonder. I mean, we saw it with Pipo this weekend. I saw you on Maxed Out last night talking about his spin rate and the lack of movement. It doesn't matter against bad teams; they can't catch up to 98. Right. And I do wonder that we're very likely to host. And if we beat Duke, potentially even national seed. But that first weekend, throw Pipo in the first game against the 4 seed. Let him throw 98 past him.
Has D1 or Baseball America revised their
Yeah, they have. We're down to 13 now. It's not really a substantive change. Clemson jumped up to 11. Duke is now I think 5th or 6th on the national seed line. And then Boston College is also still hosting. And Wake Forest is number 1 overall is the way they have it seeded. But really, it's really – I mean, if we win that Duke series, you got to like our chances to be a national seed.
Is it because we played a sorry Presbyterian team?
Yeah, and also Clemson swept Louisville, so I think we got to – and they've been on fire lately. So
yeah,
the thing is the ACC is so tight that you win a few games and obviously you jump up 4 or 5 spots in the standings. And so I think it's also lining them up. They dropped UF out of the national seed.
Oh, yeah.
And now they had us lined up against Arkansas.
Okay. Arkansas is a good team.
Yeah, no, they're the 4 seed in the projections this week. But I think for us, it's all you got to win this Pitt series this weekend.
You have to.
And then otherwise you might not even host. But if you win the Pitt series, you're probably in good shape to host because even losing to Duke, as long as you don't get swept, if they're a national seed, that shouldn't be enough to drop you out of the host. But if you win that, might be enough to get you to the national seed line.
I think that I'm going to go the hard route, right? I'm going to go the hard route. I'm going to say that I think we need to win both series because –
just to host, you think?
Yeah, to host. And, I mean, potential national seed, of course, right? If you can win both series.
I think if you beat Duke, it's got to be a feather in the cap there.
Sure, absolutely. And that's why for me – look, this is not – again, you know how I feel about baseball as a whole. I think that baseball is very competitive in Division I, whether you're the 1 or the 64. Doesn't matter to me. Anybody can win because, baseball is a game of if you get hot, you can go far, right? And so for me, you still want to try to get, and I hate to put it this way, but you want to get the easiest way out.
Oh, for sure.
Right? So for me, it's you got to kick ass these next 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You got to, because then now you're sitting pretty. You're for sure you're a top 10, and then you could potentially be a national seed. Now you might have an easier.
No, I mean that's definitely the goal. You will have it easier, especially with this team's home road splits.
Right.
I mean, you gotta their chances.
You want to try to play at home the most you can.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially again, this team has been so much better at home than on the road.
Yeah.
And again, getting that 1 seed and then being able to pitch people on Friday against a 4 seed and keep Zeal for the second game. That's what you're trying to do here. Hopefully win those first 2. And then you just got to win 1 out of 2 with the whole staff. Right? I mean, that's the way you get out of the regional because if you're dropping those first 2 games.
Here's best case scenario is you get a really, really good bracket where, you win the first 2 games, and then the third game, you kind of cruise with Johnny Hostaff. Great. Now you're facing, let's say you're the 7th seed. Now you're going to face the 14, right?
Right. And
the worst case scenario is Florida stays out of that top 8, and you're a top 8, and you end up playing those.
I don't care, man. If they're coming to the light, let's go, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're
they're coming to our place. That's different. And I mean, I feel like for us, almost the regional will be tougher because super regional is just winning a series,
right?
Not all the time.
True. But
winning a regional, you drop game 2, which we've done in a lot of these series. Now you're fucked. Yeah. So it's kind of that's what happened last year. It was a 1-run game to Ole Miss, and it catapulted them to the championship and us out of the tournament on a 1-run game in game 2. and that's the regional, that's the fine margins. Where if this was
think about that, Vish.
Yeah.
If we win that game, and then we beat Arizona, because the same thing happened with Arizona, basically, right?
well, no, if we win that game, we don't even play Arizona.
You're right. We don't even play Arizona.
No, they Ole Miss would have had to beat us twice. They wouldn't have done that. We would have gone on. Yeah, no, I mean it's. And then we would have played Southern Miss at home in the next series. We would have won that easily. Like but it's a one, and that's why. And I heard you defending Gino last night. And when people, at the beginning of the year, we got off to a rough start. We're actually peaking now, which is very different from last year, which is good. Like you said, a lot of it's like, are you getting hot at the right time? We appear to be doing that,
right?
But I'm like, everyone's like, how come we didn't fire him? And I'm like, we lost 2 one-run games. Like, you can fire the manager for that. Like, what are we talking about? We were a national seed. We were one of the top 5 teams in the country the whole season, and then we lost 2 one-run games at home, and you think we should fire the manager? Like, are you crazy? What are we talking about? The
eventual national champion, by the way.
Yeah, but what are we talking about? And also, that weekend was so weird with the tropical storm coming in, and they stacked all the games, and it's just...
it was weird.
It was all messed up. But anyway, I think we're actually peaking at the right time now. We're playing really well. Won 12 out of last 16. And so I think this is starting to click a little bit here.
So this weekend, is it a Friday through Sunday?
Yeah, it's finally a traditional Friday through Sunday series. No Thursday nonsense.
Oh, you know what? More importantly, we're talking about now, again, another wrinkle and a new lineup.
I was waiting for you to bring up your boy here because you've been screaming at me that we gotta do this. I was like, if you're gonna just go to Pitt without talking about,
listen,
I'll let you say the name. But
I wish that people would pay more attention to this show because I mean, how spot on have we been on so many things the last couple of months? It's been crazy. It's almost scary how spot on you and I have been about. Hey, we need to get Carrier in there. We need to get him more at bats. Now he's your starting right fielder. Hey, Jason Torres, I know he's not going to play third because of Yo-Yo, but you got to find a way to put his bat in the lineup. He's now the DH.
Yeah, he's the
DH.
DH.
He's cranking balls 450 feet. I mean, the kid is legit.
Now,
see how long it lasts, right?
Well, I mean, also it's the competition there too was what it was, but I mean, he didn't get a hit today, but he did DH again, right? And I think Yo-Yo had apparently an upper respiratory infection, something, so he missed the first 2 games. And Jason Torres just took Farrell's job right out of that lineup, man. He
just went 9 for 14 the first.
Yeah, you can't take that bat out of the lineup now. So I think he's the DH for now. Now if he slumps at all, I think Farrell will get back in there. But
this is where we talk about this a lot on our football show, right? Creating depth. This is potentially creating some depth with Farrell now. As I know they're going to rotate a little bit. They might platoon each other. Those guys with Torres and Farrell at DH. But now you've got Farrell, who's played, who's started most of the season at DH or in the outfield or whatnot.
Mostly DH, yeah.
You've got, even though he struggled all year, you still got a veteran guy in Dario Gomez who can come in and do some stuff. You got Jacoby Long, who's by the way, a very important piece of this team. Pinch hit, can go out there and play defense better than just about anybody. He's an amazing outfielder. He's hit the ball okay when he's gotten the opportunity as well. So you've got those guys. Now you've got you could even throw in another guy, another hitter. You can throw in Gabby Gutierrez, who started a little bit as well, and we saw what he was able to do in some at bats last year, where he was able to kind of get hot at one point. So you've got some guys now that you're building a little bit of depth behind that. I just can't see the hitting being an issue, right? Like we saw last year, where all of a sudden they disappeared in the postseason, right? And you're losing 1-run games and you're scoring 2 or 3 runs. You're not going to win in the postseason that way. Now you're talking about, okay, the hitting should not be an issue. I know we live and die by the home run, but guys have been able to get on base and hit some extra base hits as well, and manufacture some runs, right? So I'm confident in what I see with the lineup. If the pitching can hold up a little bit, and I know it's ad nauseum at this point. Like, I'm tired of talking about it, but it's the truth. Like, we're gonna have to have that pitching step up and stay hot.
Yeah, I think the good thing with the there's a couple of things work in our favor though. You mentioned all the depth. There's a lot of guys that have at points come in and pinch hit big spots and
Yeah.
deliver. Gabby
Oh,
Gutierrez, Renzo as well. That, and you know for sure, like Renzo's not starting at first ever. Like that's Kafis, unless Kafis is hurt or something, right? But his ability to come in and have clutch pinch hits, same with Gabby, like these, like you said, building that depth, and now you got either Farrow or Torres is going to be a pinch hit option. Like that's legitimate. Yeah. I think the only position where you don't really feel like we have depth is catcher.
Sure.
It's Perez or Boss really there. Like Scanlon is just knock on it going, and JD Jones basically never plays. So I mean that, because even at like second, you obviously want Sear in there, but he's backed up by Dorian. I mean, if for whatever reason Patelli couldn't play or whatever, I think probably Torres would go in at short at this point. Well, because we know for sure it won't be Ariel Garcia. But then we have,
or you might move Yo-Yo to short, right?
Yeah. You could move him back over there, but you definitely have infield depth. Like you got Renzo behind Kafis. You mentioned the outfield. There's backups all over that, right? Because Villegas is playing
put Renzo in the outfield too.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, he could play in the outfield. But then you got you mentioned like right now it's Carrier, Levinson, Villegas starting, so that means that Dario Gomez isn't a starter. He started a lot of games this year, so there's a lot of depth. It's all on the pitching, but the good thing with the pitching is, I mean, so as much as Rosario struggled this year, he eats innings. Like even when he's bad, it's usually like he gets one bad inning, but he'll go like, I mean, it's not a good stat line, and his ERA is a bit high for a reason, but he'll go 6 innings and allow like 5 or 6 runs. Those are his bad performances. He still won 6 innings.
Right.
And so it does preserve the bullpen a little bit. He's got that ability to go long in the game. So, and then, Walters can pitch multiple inning closing. So you can almost get away with it. And I think that's what we're trying to do here.
That's exactly what we're trying to do, is get away with it.
Like, how do we get enough out of
collectively? Get away with it? That's the question.
Well, there's 27 innings you got to eat over the weekend, right? So that's really. So Rosario, as much as like if we had like quality starting pitching, he probably would not be starting anymore based on his performance this year. Instead, he's the number 2 guy. But he does eat innings. And frankly, if you can somehow, and I know we don't know exactly what's going on, you get Ligon back. Rosario is your third starter. That is legitimate when you got a guy as your third starter that's throwing in the high 90s that can go along deep in the games, because a lot of third starters in college are like this guy's a 3-inning guy, a 4-inning guy. Like the ability to have Rosario go deep into games on a Sunday. I mean, but I don't know what's going on with Ligon, whether we'll see him again.
Yeah, I know Max mentioned yesterday that it's tendonitis, and I know we had spoken about that a couple weeks ago. But at some point, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. They're gonna have to give people some more information on that, because we're all hoping and wishing that we're going to see him, and we just don't. And hopefully, tomorrow or the next day, I think they posted tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, what the rotation is going to be.
Sometimes they do it Thursday, sometimes Friday. Yeah, but hopefully, we'll see it and see if Ligon's back. But I mean, at this point, it's gotten so deep in the season, like if you don't bring him back now, it's kind of, I mean, what do you do? Give him a few innings in the ACC tournament to loosen it up? Like, I mean, it's almost where we're kind of like, obviously, look, they would have brought it if assuming it is the tendonitis thing, because again, they haven't actually said anything since the original time he was out, but he came back and pitched against Georgia Tech, then went out again. But obviously, if they thought they could have brought him back, the last weekend was the perfect weekend to do it.
True.
Right. So obviously he was not able to pitch for whatever reason. But I mean, you're really going to bring it back against Duke or something? He's the number 5 team in the country. Get your ass in there.
There's no midweek game next week, right?
Or
is there?
I think is it not FIU again?
It might be. It might be right.
So yeah, maybe you can kind of like in the majors how they send you to the minors to get like
throw a couple innings against
FIU. Maybe throw a couple of innings against FIU. Oh yeah, it is FIU. It's at FIU.
That's essentially a home game.
Yeah, no, that's not anything.
No.
But yeah, so maybe that's a chance to hope, if he's actually able to pitch, to get him a couple innings. But I mean, I don't think you can go to him like the postseason if he hasn't pitched.
No.
in like a month and a half. I think we're getting into
Then again, we're so short. We're so lacking depth on that. So he comes in and throws you a couple innings at the beginning, and he does okay. You might work him in again. You might, and he might. He might.
I just feel like if he's going to be ready, I'm fine throwing away an ACC tournament game, to be honest.
Yeah.
If you win the Duke series, he still hasn't pitched, and if you think he's going to be ready by the regionals,
right,
then I don't see why he wouldn't be ready to pitch near the end of the ACC tournament, like a few days before that. Just get even if it blows who the hell cares, right? I mean, you're trying to set up for the postseason, so
right. Who knows? All right, well,
yeah, but Pitt sucks, so we should win that series, and we're gonna have to. They're one of the worst teams in the ACC, both at the plate and on the mound. So this is really now it's another one of those weird artificial turf stadiums, but but I mean this is
you should get 2 out of 3 there though.
And they did beat Virginia, but this is a kind of a must win situation. Definitely, if you want to host, you cannot afford. I guess theoretically, if you lose this series and beat Duke, you'll probably host. But like this, you gotta.
You don't want to bank on that though, right?
Yeah, and so Pitt is in last place in the Coastal, 9-13 in conference, 21-24 overall. Oh, by the way, is it official? It's either official or almost official that Florida State is about to get eliminated
from contention, period.
Yeah, because the last two, they're definitely like not getting into the tournament the traditional way, but similar to basketball, if you win the conference tournament, it's the automatic bid.
Yeah.
But I think they're probably one more loss away from not making the conference tournament.
Oh, you're making the conference tournament. Nice.
Yeah. Well, so they're 6-18. The 2 worst teams in the conference don't make it. They're in last at 6-18. Louisville is 9-15. Pitt is 9-13.
Ooh.
So they FSU needs to go on a run here.
Louisville's that bad, how they struggled that much, huh?
Yeah, just they keep losing these conference games, but Florida State play Wake Forest this week.
Good luck at that.
So this could be the week. We could be celebrating next week. They could be officially eliminated. Yep. So they got to make up 3 games. So if they get swept, which is probably what's going to happen, then they're done. Then they're done. So yeah, we can officially. I mean, it's going to happen anyway, but could officially say no postseason for them.
That'd be something.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Oh, boy. Anyways, I guess we'll see what we do next week with some baseball talk as well. But we'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on with baseball as well.
Yeah, massive series next week. Obviously, got to take care of business this week, and that it'll actually be for the Coastal too. I'm
trying to think. I'll be there Saturday night. I don't know if I'm going to be there Friday night yet, but
this is the Duke game?
For the Duke one, yeah.
So that is a Thursday to Saturday.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I will be there Thursday for sure.
Yeah, that's the one. We'll see if she's still watching. That's the one Melissa, I think, and I are going to also. So 3 of us will go.
And Saturday, depending on what time the game is.
It's a day game.
It's going to be tough. I have a golf tournament that I'm playing in, so yeah.
You prioritizing golf over the games? Well, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there on Thursday for sure. We'll do Thursday.
All right. Well, I'll do all 3, but
have fun, man.
I will enjoy watching us win the ACC Coastal.
Have a milkshake.
Let's not do that.
Oh man! All right,
let's not do that after last time.
But. We'll see you guys next week.
Yep. All right.
Adios.
The 6 Rig Kane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rig Kane Show. Yeah. The 6 Rings Kane Show. You know.